Hello and welcome. It's Super Bowl Sunday. So with that being stated, I decided to check the lines and see if I could find some value. And I think I did. And I know long term that I did. Whether the results, we'll see how they come into play. These are the 6 wagers that I'll be making. Of course, everything within your own risk, own reward. These are from CloudBet, and the bets are done via Bitcoin. And I've allocated the wagers into somewhat equal, close amounts. Go over them starting with the top one. They're all propositions as far as the spread, laying 4.5. I have an opinion on the New England Patriots. Other wagers I passed on. Number 1, a money line play with the Patriots on the money line with the Washington Capitals plus a 1.5 against the Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow. The reason why I like Washington tomorrow is because they are playing at around 12 o'clock Eastern time, which is like 9 o'clock Vegas time, as they're on a road trip. Washington is a very good home team, and the Vegas Golden Knights are not so great on the road. And plus the 1.5, you got the 1 goal loss. Doesn't matter what happens in overtime. But I passed on that. Another one I like too, which I think is very safe, is will Bill Belichick wear a hoodie minus 176, being no. And he wore hoodies before when the temperatures were 25 degrees, 15 degrees, or whatever cold weather, because your ears get cold. I wear hoodies all the time too in the winter because it's such a huge increase of comfort, especially if you don't wear toques like I don't. So that is one bet also in which I passed on. Another one that I passed on as well, Brady no to an interception at minus 145. It's an okay price. I bet it last year and it lost. And the Philadelphia Eagles do have a pretty good intercepting defense, so not going to make that wager, but something in which I'm considering. So what I did wager, let's talk about the first one. The Patriots score before they punt. Yes. Plus 117. And I'm allocating about 18.7% of my bets towards such. They're practically even amongst the 6. Statistics. The Patriots have scored 49 touchdowns, 31 field goals for a sum of 80 scores, and they have punted the ball 58 times for a 4-3 ratio almost. 12 of their 18 games this year, the yes was a winner for the Patriots, and 8 of their last 10. So therefore, if I'm getting better than even money for something that is well more likely to occur, yeah, I'm going to make that wager. So I got that wager in place. The Philadelphia Eagles plus 127 on the wager. If you don't know what those plus means, that means on the plus, $100 to win 117, 1 unit to win 1.17. So you're getting better than even odds. You'll get a bit back. You'll profit a bit more than you risk on those situations. We'll talk about the minus with the only one when we get there. So therefore, that is how I'm doing it. But the Eagles have had 93 field goals and touchdowns and 67 punts. And again, I mean, if it's more likely, if that's the case, that it's going to be either of the two. It could even be a safety too, but I mean, Super Bowl, it did happen in the Denver-Seattle game, but it's unlikely that safeties are scored much in the game anyway. The Eagles score first, plus 114. This is from Sportsbook Review. This one, and I think the 21.8% is also from Sportsbook Review, stating that the New England Patriots will probably defer if they win the coin toss, and the Philadelphia Eagles will probably accept the ball if they win the toss. So regardless of the case, I'm basically saying the Eagles will get the ball first. If that's the case, I'll take plus 114. Of course, the bets are a lot lower for this compared to the 2 above because I don't see that as great a value. I definitely see this as the worst of these 6 picks. This one is awesome, the one below it. Both teams lead in the 4th quarter or overtime. Yes. Plus 318. The first Super Bowl for Tom Brady was against the St. Louis Rams, and that one was close, but it was a no. The New England Patriots had a 17-3 lead in the, or I think it was 17. We had a 14-point lead, rather, in the 4th quarter. and Kurt Warner got 2 touchdowns to tie the game. And then when John Madden said, don't try to score in the 4th, just go to overtime. Well, no, they went to score and they scored a field goal, but that was a loser. Then they played the Carolina Panthers. Carolina in the 4th quarter came back to take the lead, and the Patriots won, so that was a winner. Then they played the Philadelphia Eagles. That was a loser. The Patriots led the entire way pretty much, at least through the entire 4th quarter, which is what the bet is based upon. Then they played the Giants twice. Both games were the same. The Giants came back in the 4th quarter. They were both winners. Then the Patriots played the Seattle Seahawks, and that was a comeback. That was a winner. Last year they played the Atlanta Falcons, and well, if you remember that game, that was a huge comeback win. And the overtime counts within this wager. So last year, of course, if it was 4th quarter, it'd be a no. But in the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl last year, Atlanta led throughout. Then it was tied, and then New England won in overtime. So plus 318 odds, 1 to win 3.18. You bet $100, you win, you get 418 back. Okay, I'll take it. I think the next one below it is almost a gimme. I think the fair odds should be like minus 600. Literally, I think this should be minus 600. So this is risking 159 to win 100 profit. Not that much for juice overall, but the players with the pass attempt this game to be under 2.5. Basically what I'm saying, it will only be Nick Foles and Tom Brady that throws the ball. When you look at the statistics, first, New England, I've heard, I think it was in one of the America's Game or some sort of NFL Films documentary, where the Patriots say only one person's allowed to throw the ball, and that's Tom Brady. Which is why when Julian Edelman, years ago against the Ravens, threw a ball on a trick play, that was very much a surprise, because the Patriots already said after that play with a different player screwed up for him, that only Tom Brady would ever throw. Well, that's really the only time that's ever happened. I don't see any fake field goals, fake punts turning into a throw. And I guess the only way, because I don't think Philadelphia is going to do any type of trickery that way as well. Only quarterbacks have played for, or have thrown balls this year for the Philadelphia Eagles. So unless a quarterback gets injured or there's some sort of like screwed up field goal or punt where they have to throw the ball, as weird as that is, and both are very rare, I think it's pretty much an extremely safe bet. It's gotta, I mean, this should be maybe greater than minus 1,000. The likelihood of either quarterback getting injured is not good. And also when a team leads big at the end and they put a backup quarterback, there's a couple factors in there. One, the likelihood is rare that anyone has that big lead. Number two, it's a Super Bowl. Are they going to pull Tom Brady for Brian Hoyer? And even if they do, is he even going to throw the ball? It's just going to be like handoff or kneel down at the end. And I think they're going to let Tom Brady kneel down with 20 seconds left in the game. Or just, they're not going to pull him, even if they're up 37-4, or whatever, they're up by 30 points. They'll just keep Brady in the game, and then that's all they need for that. Finally, Dion Lewis over 4.5 receptions at plus 137. He has been big as a check down receiver and making a lot of big plays for Tom Brady. I'm always scared with Bill Belichick and his running backs. Back in the day of daily fantasy, it was always a nightmare. And within such, I think he's got a good chance of getting a lot of catches. Lately he has, and to get better than even odds for something I think he's got a better than 50% chance of accomplishing, that's where I'm going to go. So these are wagers that I'm making via Bitcoin. There's no guarantee I'm going to be watching the entire game. Well, I guess it depends on the market, Bitcoin market. And a lot of times, even if it does, I can always attend to Bitcoin during commercial breaks and definitely during halftime. So then, thank you for tuning in and enjoy the game. Of course, everything is within your own risk, own reward. And these are via CloudBet. When I did my deposit, it took about 5 minutes after I got one confirmation on the Bitcoin and Bitcoin. It took about good 10 minutes to get my first confirmation, but it worked. I have withdrawn from before, and they've paid me each time I have done so. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.